Welcome everybody, it is Crypto Moose and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. So on this episode, what we're going to do is guide you step by step how to send crypto from another wallet. This could be an online exchange, a hot wallet or desktop wallet, to your cold storage. So a couple things to keep in mind is that you want to understand how blockchain works. So basically, if you are sending Bitcoin on Bitcoin's blockchain, you have to send it to another Bitcoin blockchain address. So we're going to address those things in this video. So in fact, we are going to be sending some Bitcoin, Solana, and Cardano. So hopefully this can help you out a little bit visually. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there are any other specific assets that you would like me to teach you how to send. But this is one of the most requested video. Another tip as well, we're not going to do that in this video because the Moose is a little bit advanced in that regard. But what you can do is send a smaller amount. So if you have like $1,000 to send, maybe send a couple bucks or $5-10. See if it works. And then if it works, you can send more. So it's a good little tip as well. Always triple check your address. So let's dive right into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the Trezor. Okay. So we're going to imagine that you own a Trezor Model T and you want to send Bitcoin to this device. Okay, so you have Bitcoin and you've already set up your device. If you don't know how to set up this device, I have a bunch of tutorials. In fact, I have tutorials on how to set up a Trezor, a Tangem, a Ledger Flex. All these wallets in this video and more I have on this channel. So if you don't know how to set up these devices, I have videos on it, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to plug in our device. Okay, so make sure that you set up this device, you back it up properly. And really what we're doing is we are sending tokens from one address to another. And the way it works is that because you own your wallet, whether it's an online exchange, you have the ability to sign transactions. Tokens are always on the blockchain, okay? They're moving around on the blockchain, and the private key holder, they're the ones that can sign a transaction. So what we're going to do is show you how to send crypto. So we're going to sign in here. And keep in mind, I have a lot of different apps open. So if there are any minor issues, if you see things being a little bit wonky, that's why. Typically, you just want one tab open at a time. So here we're going to open this up. And again, we're making it a goal to send 3 different assets in 3 different cold wallets. Okay, so the first one is Bitcoin. So once this loads, we'll get an idea. So what I have here is I have a desktop wallet, right? This is Exodus. And on this Exodus, I have some Bitcoin, which I pretty much forgot about at this point. I have a bunch of different wallets associated with it. So we're going to send from Exodus to our brand new cold wallet. So instead of us having our private keys on software, we want to get that on cold storage for maximum protection, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Bitcoin wallet, okay? And we're going to send some of our Bitcoin. In fact, in this case, we'll send pretty much all of it to our wallet. So how do we do that? Well, with Bitcoin, okay, BTC, that is a token that is on Bitcoin's blockchain. So sometimes you have things like wrap Bitcoin. We'll talk about it with other assets. But what you're doing is you're making sure that you're only sending Bitcoin on Bitcoin to Bitcoin. Okay? So it's kind of like a language. Do not send Bitcoin to Cardano, right? A Cardano address. It doesn't make sense, right? So here we're going to go to our receiving address. So we're going to go to Bitcoin. And you don't want to do legacy. You want the SegWit, the native SegWit. Here we're just going to go to receive. And we're going to show full address. We're going to confirm that with the device. Here we'll confirm. So we're going to copy this. You could also scan this QR code. The QR code is this receiving address. So your receiving address is kind of like a home address. That's where you know to send the mail to, right? So you can imagine the tokens are in a mail, and that's where you're pointing it to. It's like sending an email. So here we're just going to copy this. We could copy like this or just copy address. So we're going to go to send, right? And we're going to send to Bitcoin address. We're going to paste our address, put Moose as a message. It don't matter. Here we could do all, we could do half, you know, let's say we do $5 worth, right? Here we'll do $5, 0.0 whatever. Recommended fee, 1 byte. We could increase this. It's not going to be much more expensive. I want this to be fast enough. So pretty cheap right now. So we can send $5. If this were to be, you know, $5,000, we don't have that. It would still be significantly cheap. So it's very cool in that regard. So here we're going to send to this address, right? So if you're using it on an online exchange, it's the same thing. So now it is pending. So sending 0 point whatever. Perfect. So sent. And we sent it pretty swiftly. And you probably heard that noise. And it probably received it already. There we go. So what we did is we had $5, so 0.00004 BTC from one address, and we sent it to another, right? So all this happened on the blockchain, and we use the internet in our software to sign those transactions. So now we have $5 worth of Bitcoin on this wallet. Now, you have to wait sometimes for certain confirmations. So, you know, let's say there's like 3 confirmations. That means that you know that, you know, the money's been sent. But sometimes you have to wait for full confirmations, depending on how much somebody spent to send the transaction. You may not be able to access or use your crypto right away. So keep that in mind. So here, if we go to sending to, you guys can see the transaction ID. You can get a history. You can look it up on the blockchain, etc. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. That is for Bitcoin. That is for a Trezor. So same thing. If you guys went on your Trezor with your Trezor suite, here I have some Cardano. This is one of my main wallets we talk about on the channel. If I wanted to send Cardano to this, we would just go to receive, and we could send to one of these public addresses. Okay, so your goal is to sign a transaction and send to a public address. Okay, so we're going to sign out of Exodus. We're done with that. But that is how you send from Exodus over to a different wallet. So we're done with the Trezor for now. And now we're going to use a Flex. So we're going to send Cardano Lace Chrome extension there. So let's figure this out. So here, if I look on screen, I've got a Cardano wallet. So let's say you set up a Lace wallet and you're looking at your wallet and you're like, man, if somebody hacks my computer, I'm cooked. So what you're going to do, or maybe what you did, is you picked up a wallet. So here I've got a Flex, and I've never sent Cardano to a Flex. I'm doing this for the first time. So let's see if the Moose knows what he's doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our Cardano wallet here. We don't have a lot. We have 9.15 ADA, and ADA is very cheap to send as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our device. Now, this wallet works with a phone. So here we're going to put in our PIN. So here we're just going to go to wallet. Let's close this as well. So maybe it's got to be charged. There we go. So let's put in our PIN. Okay, so on this device, you can see different wallets. So let's see if this has a little bit holding. There we go. So here you can see different assets. If you guys want a tutorial, I have a step-by-step tutorial on how to set up the Ledger Flex. I'm not going to do it again. But here we're going to click on Cardano. And we're going to just launch the app. So this works via Bluetooth, and on our phone, we are going to click on Accounts, Cardano. Okay, so we want to go to our Cardano with the Cardano logo. So we're sending Cardano on Cardano to a Cardano address. Okay, there are, in some cases, a lot of cases, you can have ADA on Ethereum. You don't want to send ADA from Ethereum to Cardano. Typically, you'll see a logo. So there's a logo. It's very simple. But for example, if you're sending Ethereum, like ETH, to another address, you want to send it ETH to ETH, right? So keep that in mind. So here we're going to open up Cardano, and we're going to click on Receive. So we're going to send in the address that ends in AUFD. Okay. So what you can do is you can go to your wallet. When you go to send, you can paste that right down here. Okay. To receiving. Okay. So it ends in 8UFD. I already got this set up ahead of time. So I copy and paste it to my Notes app. So you can also email yourself a public address. If somebody has your public address, they do not get access to your crypto. So your public address, once tokens hit it, they get stored on your private keys. Because you own the device and you backed up your seed, you're good to go. So here we're just going to paste this address. So we could either scan it or we could just copy paste it. You could send it to yourself. So there we go. So we have our address. Now we're going to send, either a max of, let's see, we have a balance of 9 ADA. So available balance 7. So let's say we want to send 5 ADA. It's not a lot. Let's see if we could even do that here. So transaction cost says 0. So do require native asset. Some ADA cannot be sent. Use max. So let's just do max. So it looks like we're sending 1. I would recommend sending more, but let's just see what we can do in this case. So here we'll hit confirm. Okay, so you want to send to that address, which is this one. So once it hits that address, we're good. So here we're just going to put in a password. Now, when you are doing transactions, make sure that you double check the address. And you want to make sure that, if you have to, you can set collateral specifically with Cardano. So here we're just going to wait. Okay, so we know the transaction was sent. And because it's on the public blockchain, you can view the transaction and you can get a history of everything. So we only sent 1 ADA, okay, which is fine. Again, this is for a tutorial. We don't, we're just showing you as a guide here, okay? So here we're going to wait, and if we go to sending, let's see, inputs, outputs, so sending, okay, there we go. So we'll see how long this takes. Typically, you can get faster responses if you have good internet, and then again with Bitcoin, other assets, you can set the amount for faster transactions. So here we're just going to go to our wallet, and we're going to go to my ledger. And we'll just wake it up again. We'll just keep it on Cardano. Allow secure connection. Perfect. So what's good is that in the wallet, it shows 7.78. And let's just go to wallet. So we don't see anything yet. So I'm just going to hit it with a couple refreshes. We're still at 0 for a balance. And again, it depends on confirmation level. So some wallets, it will take, just a couple minutes. Some wallets, you have to actually wait a little bit till you get all of the confirmations. Okay. So we're going to get into the next one. You guys know how that works. So you're sending from one address to another. And let's dive into the third wallet. So we got a Tangem wallet. So we'll go back to that in a little bit. We'll check. So we're not going to wait. So we're going to in this case, go over Coinbase. Okay, so if you guys have an online exchange, how can you take your assets that you bought on like Wealthsimple, Binance, Kraken, Gemini, Coinbase? How do you send it to cold storage? So in this case, a lot of you, hopefully, you guys have a Tangem. If you guys do not own a Tangem or one of these wallets, use code Moose for Tangem. We have a link tree. Use the link tree. You are buying from a reputable website. So use code Moose. You can save some money. This is one of my favorite wallets by far right now. So what we're going to do is log into our Tangem. Okay. And we're going to scan our device. So with this wallet, what's cool about it is to sign a transaction, you have to have the card and physically tap it. Whereas others, you have to confirm by, opening up the app, putting in your PIN. So that's the idea of cold storage. To sign transactions, you have to physically have the device and know a PIN, which is really cool. So here what we have is a Solana address. So on Coinbase, I did send some Solana today. So right here we have Solana and we have $27 worth. So 0.1 Sol. Okay. So we have 0.1 Solana. If you go under assets, those are the only assets in this wallet. I never use that wallet. And we're going to send it to our Tangem. Okay. So here, maybe I can even change the focus a bit. Okay. So we're going to send to our Tangem. So here we've got 1899. So we're at 0.09. So we're going to get that to 0.019. And also, we're going to change focus. Keep in mind, this is Canadian value. So CAD, and then this is USD. So if you're seeing numbers being skewed, if you're like, oh, why would he pay $10 or $5 for a transaction? There is a conversion from CAD to USD. It's roughly 1.35, something like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to send to this address. So we have to go to Solana, right? And go to receive. So that is a public address. That's an address that we can send Solana to. So this wallet, we want to send to this. So it ends in SXF3. So I've already done this ahead of time. I'm going to copy that. Again, what you can do is either scan this with your wallet if you're on your phone, send to that, or just email yourself the address as well. So there's different ways you can do it. So here what we're going to do is we are going to go to the little three dots and we're going to send. Okay, so we're sending from our Solana. So I went to my assets. Again, this is going to be similar to any other wallet. It's either sending or you're withdrawing. So like crypto.com, you can also withdraw. Here you can go send crypto. So we're going to go here and we're going to send and we're going to paste. So you want to check the last letters and numbers, SXF3. Okay. Perfect. So here we have 27 available. So it's 0.1. Let's just hit max. We're going to click and it is a self-custody wallet. And should only take 31 seconds, which is good. So we will receive 0.0999. So they're going to get their fee, of course. We're going to hit send. Hopefully this works. I haven't done this in quite a while. I'm usually just using cold storage. So there we go. So we sent it. So apparently it only takes 31 seconds. So in our wallet right now, we have 145 USD. We should see that number go up. So right now we have 0.09. So we have $18 balance. There we go. It just went up. So we just received it. So now we have 0.19. Hopefully you guys can see that. We saw the balance go up. So definitely really cool there. And we even got our notification. So that is how you send crypto from an online exchange, a hot wallet, to your wallet. So One other one we will do with Solana. Again, this is an online exchange. Let's say you guys set up a Phantom wallet. Okay, so here we're going to go into our Phantom. Let's say you have your Phantom wallet and you're like, well, I kind of want to use I want to send my money to cold storage. So what do you do in that case? So here we got a little bit of Solana. We have 0.20 Solana. You know, this is Moose playing around with sketchy memes. So what we're going to do is the same thing. We are going to send Sol, S-O-L, and again, you could also send BNB to BNB, Tron to Tron, Bitcoin to Bitcoin, whatever it may be from Solana, if it's available. You're going to go here, go to send, and we're going to paste that public address, right? SXF3. Here we can see max. So here we're not going to do max because I'll play around with some memes later. We'll send another 0.1. We'll send 20 bucks worth. We'll hit next, send, and we're going to pay a small network fee. So it's sent. So we had 38. And hopefully we'll see this number go up. Okay. So we have 0.019. And if I refresh, we just saw that number go up. So we now have 0.29 Solana. And of course, I'm using Bitcoin, Cardano, and Solana because they're relatively fast and cheap to send. So that's how that works. So if you have crypto on an online exchange, something like that, or a hot wallet, and you want to get into cold storage, that's how you're going to do it. So we have tons of videos right here on the channel. Guys, comment down below if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, if you're having any issues with specific assets. I always tell you guys to use ChatGPT, whatever it may be. But right now, guys, there are incredible wallets. I've been digging the Ledger Flex. I've been digging all of these wallets. Use code Moose, guys. Use the affiliate links. It's going to help support the channel. I will be able to produce more content just like this. Again, right now, I'm digging the Ledger Flex. I wish they would have sent me a different color, but that's pretty much it. So with that being said, guys, the Moose is loose. We'll see you in the next one.